Let me get this for you. Let me get this for you. Cal, you gotta calm down and listen to me. Okay, hey, come on now.
You know, that Tank is older. He had the lessons, getting his lessons of what he got to do to take us the rest of the way.
And you pull over. We ain't see Calvin.
Calvin?
Yeah.
Calvin was there.
Okay.
Calvin was there.
Okay.
I think he came a little late though. I spoke to him.
Interview 1. During Gervonta, Tank Davis's recent showdown with Lamont Roach Jr., an unexpected moment caught major attention. A leaked audio clip from the corner between rounds revealed a tense exchange between Davis and his longtime trainer, Calvin Ford. As Ford attempted to wipe sweat from Davis's face and deliver crucial instructions, Tank abruptly cut him off, saying, "You got to stop and listen to me." This rare public display of frustration from Davis toward Ford hinted at potential communication breakdowns during the fight. For a fighter and coach with such a long history together, moments like this are unusual and immediately sparked conversation. Adding to the drama of the night, controversy surrounded the 9th round when Davis unexpectedly took a knee, claiming hair grease had gotten into his eyes. The referee, however, ruled that it wasn't a knockdown. Between the corner tension and in-ring confusion, this fight became about more than just the action. It raised real questions about what's happening behind the scenes for Team Davis.
Let me get this for you. Let me get this for you. Cal, you gotta calm down and listen to me. Okay, hey, come on now.
After the final bell, yet another moment fueled speculation about growing tensions between Gervonta Davis and Calvin Ford. As the fight ended, Ford approached Davis for what looked like a congratulatory embrace. But instead of returning the hug, Tank appeared to sidestep Ford, moving on to greet others at ringside. This public display didn't go unnoticed. Fans and boxing insiders immediately began speculating about cracks forming in one of boxing's most successful partnerships. It's not the first sign of trouble, either. Roughly 3 months prior, reports surfaced suggesting that Davis and Ford might be heading toward a professional split. In an interview addressing those rumors, Calvin Ford shared his perspective, explaining, "People don't understand my pain, my convictions, and my emotions on certain matters. But I know what I'm dealing with." Meanwhile, Tank offered his own take on the distance growing between them, signaling a desire to focus on his own path. He put it bluntly, "The less people you chill with, the less problems you deal with." For now, their future as a team remains uncertain, but the signs of strain are impossible to ignore.
Tank don't fuck with Coach Cal. When Tank was walking up, it looked like Coach Cal was about to give him that hug like you always do, and Tank just brushed him off like, "Fuck out of here, nigga." Whoop, excuse me. Fuck out of here, nigga. Now it seems like Coach Cal on point, so you're not paying Tank no mind. And Tank go over here, he go to this nigga, and watch this shit that he do. He gonna lift his jacket up, and like, our conversation is a secret, I don't want him to hear it, type shit. Like, yo, what's up with Coach Cal and Tank? They really don't fuck with each other? Like, what? And he brush him off again, like, "Don't touch me" type shit. Like, you see?
Reflecting on the fight against Lamont Roach Jr., Calvin Ford admitted that Gervonta Davis didn't reach the level he was expecting from his fighter. According to Ford, Tank left a lot on the table that night. He didn't seize the opportunities to fully dominate, and as a result, the fight stayed much closer than it should have. Ford pointed out that Tank isn't just known for getting knockouts, he's known for breaking his opponents down, punishing them round after round. But this time, that killer instinct didn't show up the way it usually does. Ford made it clear, Davis didn't assert himself the way fans have come to expect.
Like you said, we looked at 3 rounds. Brian was calling out, "Yo, I need 3. We got 1. I need 2. You got the 2. But he forgot where he was at. He thought he was still in the 8th round. He thought he still had rounds to go.
Thought he still had rounds to go. He thought he was in the 8th round.
He was good. We just couldn't figure out why he wouldn't pick it up.
Right.
While Tank may have held back, Lamont Roach Jr. stepped up. He brought skill, strategy, and grit to the fight, forcing Davis into uncomfortable territory. Calvin Ford acknowledged that both fighters fought smart, taking calculated risks throughout the night. But in Ford's eyes, Tank never took control the way he could have. There were moments when Davis could have shifted gears, pressed harder, and truly separated himself from Roach. Instead, he allowed the fight to stay competitive. Ford seemed to suggest that, in a way, having a tough fight like this might actually be a good thing. Sometimes, a challenge is what it takes to snap a fighter back into focus and remind them of the level they're supposed to be operating on. Credit was given where it was due. Ford praised Roach for his preparation and toughness. He took shots that would have folded other fighters. But the lasting impression from the night was clear: Tank Davis could have done more. He had the tools to close the show decisively but left the door open just enough to let Roach stay in the fight.
And we'll fix that. But nevertheless, I think that made that fight a draw.
This question is for Coach Calvin Ford. This is Matt from Brunch Boxing. Now, we know that Tank has talked in the past about retiring, leaving the game of boxing. As someone that's had Tank since basically he was a puppet, you phrased him as a boxer and a man, what would you like to see Tank do after tonight?
I like to see Tank to do what he want to do. I said at the last press conference. Y'all got to understand, them guys been doing it since they were little. This might energize them again.
Oh, yeah. In fact, he backstage right now talking about he want a rematch. So,
backstage, you want to go to the gym right now.
Yes, that's what he said. So I think that retirement stuff's out the door.
Yeah, so.
Right here.
Chris Murray, Philadelphia Sunday Sun. I gotta ask this question in the sense that you said, Calvin Ford and for Coach Berry as well, you said before the fight that you wanted to see him take his game to another level. What didn't he do in this fight that that you felt he could have done and whatnot, and pretty much opened the fight up to being a draw?
Well, like I said again, they've been knowing each other since they were little. And Roach, he stepped up for the cause. He stepped up. You know what I'm saying? Again, Tank history, I always sit there and tell you, I don't like knockouts, like punishment, you know what I'm saying? And then sometimes things gotta happen to make you get back to where you belong at, you know what I'm saying? And that was a good, skillful ass fight. Skillful. Both of them would take certain chances, some would take chances, you know what I'm saying? We seen, it was like we was on a boat with us, like this, you know? But we thought he could have did more.
Thought he could have did more, and hack off to Lamont Roach. You know what I mean? He was prepared.
Yeah.
There were shots that he took that the average person would have went out on. And he took, pretty much Tank was setting on an uppercut and he threw it and he was able to catch some of those uppercuts. So yeah, you got to give him credit.
Lately, the relationship between Gervonta Davis and Calvin Ford has become one of the hottest topics in boxing circles. And during this recent fight, the tension between them was on full display. When Davis walked past Ford's post-fight embrace attempt to greet others at ringside, it didn't just look like a missed moment, it looked like a statement. Fans immediately picked up on it. Social media exploded with theories, debates, and questions about whether one of boxing's strongest duos might be falling apart. On Twitter, a user named Nathan Earl summed up what many were thinking, pointing out that something about their connection seemed off. For a fighter-trainer relationship built over years of trust and success, moments like these don't go unnoticed. Between the leaked corner audio, the cold post-fight interaction, and months of behind-the-scenes rumors, all eyes are now on what's next for Tank Davis and Calvin Ford. Will they repair the bond and get back on track, or are we watching the beginning of the end for this legendary pairing? He made Calvin Ford second trainer, and during the fight he told him, "Stop telling him what to do. I knew it was going to be a bad night after that. Tank without Calvin equals not champion. Every time Tank has won a fight it's been right after Calvin gave him instructions. Trying to be bigger than the program never works." This recent tweet highlights growing concerns that Gervonta Davis's decision to potentially sideline or demote his longtime trainer, Calvin Ford, could have serious consequences inside the ring. For years, the bond between Davis and Ford has been about much more than just boxing. Ford has been a mentor, a father figure, and the steady hand guiding Tank from the streets of Baltimore all the way to the top of the sport. Their relationship has been a key part of Davis's rise to stardom. So, any signs of tension, any cracks in that foundation, raise big questions, not just about their personal dynamic, but about how it might impact Tank's future performances. Those concerns grew even louder during Davis's recent fight against Lamont Roach Jr. in the middle of the bout. As Calvin Ford leaned in to give his fighter critical advice, Davis abruptly cut him off, saying, "You got to stop and listen to me." The exchange, captured on a hot mic, spread quickly across social media. Fans, analysts, and boxing insiders immediately picked up on the moment, debating whether this was just heat of the battle frustration or a sign of deeper issues brewing between the two. For a partnership that's been through everything together, from humble beginnings to world titles, this public display of discord left many wondering, is the bond that built Tank Davis's empire starting to break? And if so, what does that mean for his future inside the ring? As the boxing world watches closely, one thing is clear: when the trust between a fighter and his trainer starts to shake, it can affect everything. And with the level Davis is at, even the smallest crack could make the difference between staying on top or falling short.
My journey's crazy. That's why I said this, yo, you can't write this, man. You cannot write this. My experience being gone and all the stuff that I went through preparing me for where I'm at today. You know, man, Tank is older. He had the lessons, getting his lessons of what he got to do to take us the rest of the way. And this is his take us the rest of the way fight.
Many viewed the recent interaction between Gervonta Davis and his longtime trainer, Calvin Ford, as a clear sign of disrespect. Moments like these have raised serious questions about the current dynamics between the fighter and the man who helped guide his career from the very beginning. For years, mutual respect and trust have been the foundation of their successful partnership. But during this fight, Davis publicly dismissing Ford's advice sent shockwaves through the boxing world. Fans and analysts were quick to criticize the moment, emphasizing just how vital communication and respect are between a fighter and his trainer, especially at the highest levels of the sport. While the exact cause behind the tension remains uncertain, it has undeniably cast a bright spotlight on the inner workings of Davis's camp. As the boxing community continues to dissect the fallout, the future of the Davis-Ford partnership remains a major talking point. Ford himself has even acknowledged that his role in Davis's career may have naturally reached its conclusion. He shared that he felt he had given Davis all the knowledge, guidance, and tools he possibly could. Now, he believes it might be time for Davis to continue forward on his own. Looking back, Ford described their time together as nothing short of an incredible journey. From humble beginnings to championship success, their bond produced greatness. But now, with their potential separation looming, fans and experts alike are wondering, without Ford in his corner, can Tank Davis continue his reign at the top? The man who helped shape Davis into the powerhouse he is today may no longer be there, and that has everyone watching closely.
Best for him. I'm hoping that he do what I need him to do. You know what I'm saying? You see how I asked him, are you ready? You know what I'm saying? Because I need somebody that's going to really push Tank, so I can see different levels of it. This time I had a chance to step back, and everybody keeps saying, they changing ourselves. No, we ain't changed up anything. It's the same thing we always do. You know?
Going into the training camp, how was it? Or you said you stepped back a little bit. How was it? Splitting the time. How's it going to be splitting the time to
no, this
Saturday night?
That we do all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Right now, y'all know all I gotta do is speak. They take out history since he was a kid.
For years, Calvin Ford has been a constant source of guidance and support for Gervonta Davis. Even during moments when he wasn't directly involved in Davis's training camps, Ford never wavered in his belief that his protege had what it takes to dominate the sport. Ahead of Davis's recent showdown with Lamont Roach Jr., Ford voiced full confidence, expecting a statement victory from the undefeated star, but things didn't go as planned. Instead of a highlight reel performance, the fight ended in a shocking majority draw, a result that neither Davis nor his team had prepared for. The bout was anything but smooth, marred by unexpected obstacles. One of the most talked about moments came in the 9th round when Davis took a knee, later explaining it was due to hair grease getting into his eyes, impairing his vision. Yet, the referee chose not to rule it as a knockdown, adding further controversy to an already complicated night. Despite the chaos, Ford continued to stand by Davis, offering words of support and perspective. He acknowledged the tough breaks and strange moments that unfolded during the fight but reminded everyone that setbacks are part of the game. Ford emphasized that what matters most is how you bounce back. For him, Davis still has the talent and mindset to overcome these challenges and continue his journey to greatness. But after a performance like this, the road ahead is filled with questions, and Davis will need to answer them quickly. Marcosville tweeted Tank telling Calvin, "Listen to me." Calvin Ford's absence from Gervonta Davis's preparation for the Lamont Roach Jr. fight sent the boxing world into a frenzy of speculation. Was this the end of one of boxing's most successful trainer-fighter partnerships? Many believed so. Ford later addressed the swirling rumors, explaining that his time was currently dedicated to training amateur fighters, a passion project he finds deeply rewarding. Even though he wasn't present in Davis's corner, Ford made it clear he was still cheering on his former student from afar. He fully expected Davis to put on a show and come away with a dominant victory. But instead of a decisive win, the fight ended in a majority draw, a result that left fans and analysts stunned. The performance wasn't what anyone anticipated, and the absence of Ford's guiding presence only added fuel to the fire. Now, the conversation has shifted from, where was Calvin Ford, to, did Davis struggle because Calvin Ford wasn't there? As people continue to debate the impact of Ford's absence, one thing is clear: Davis's future in the sport is at a crossroads. Without the man who helped build his foundation, can Tank stay at the top? That's the question everyone is waiting to see answered.
In career.
That little break in between of you guys not being, was there like kind of like a family fondness where?
No,
like,
he came to see me. Dad, slow down, I'm worrying about you, because boom, he knows that I spend time with my amateurs. You know me, both of y'all know me very well.
Yeah.
Don't I spend time with my amateurs?
Yeah, all the time.
All the time. That's my peace. And he know when I go spend time with my peace, I'm going through things. You know what I'm saying? When he was there, at least I know where he was at. Because it was something that we didn't do. It's something that we normally do. Y'all with me? And it was good for us, to tell you the truth, because when I stepped back in the head biggest game and I haven't been there, it brought back so much memories. When we first started off, and him seeing all us working together, he was happy. And at the end of the day,
the majority draw between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach Jr. wasn't just surprising, it lit up social media and sparked a heated debate about the effects of Davis's rumored split from Calvin Ford. Fans immediately started weighing in, with one Twitter user summing up what many were thinking. Ever since Calvin stepped back, Tank hasn't looked the same. You can't replace that kind of chemistry overnight. For years, Ford has been the architect behind Davis's rise to superstardom. His voice in the corner wasn't just advice, it was the anchor that kept Davis focused, sharp, and ready for war. Without that, some fans now wonder if we're seeing the cracks start to form in Tank's game. The Roach fight was supposed to be another dominant chapter in Davis's career. Instead, it ended with uncertainty, questions, and doubts. Whether or not the split from Ford played a role is still up for debate. But one thing's for sure, people are paying attention, and the pressure on Davis to deliver a statement in his next outing has never been higher. Jetty General commented Calvin Ford didn't train Gervonta Davis for this fight, so the results show their connection and mentality. Davis wasn't there as a fighter, his head was somewhere else. Many fans believe Tank Davis's performance may have taken a hit due to the absence of his longtime trainer Calvin Ford. The fight was razor close, with Davis even taking a knee in the 9th round because of an issue with his eye, though the referee didn't call it a knockdown. Statistically, Roach landed more punches overall, while Davis showed better accuracy. In the end, the judges ruled it a majority draw, allowing Davis to hold on to his WBA lightweight title. But with Ford missing from the corner, questions started flying. Why wasn't Ford there? Nobody's given clear answers, leaving people to wonder if changes in their working relationship are underway. Many feel Ford's absence might have played a role in Davis not living up to expectations. Moving forward, fans are eager to see if Davis switches things up in his camp and how it affects his future fights. Ford has always understood Davis on a deeper level, knowing exactly how to mentally push him into beast mode. That connection has been a key reason for Davis's dominant run. But this time, Davis looked off, unfocused, distracted, and missing that signature spark. Without Ford's guidance, Davis didn't seem locked in like usual, and it showed. If nothing else, this proves just how crucial Ford's presence has been in keeping Davis at the top of his game.
just did. We got off the cameras once. It ain't about the dub with me. It's about, do you got that will against will? I don't know. I know I can. I ain't pushed no buttons with Tank yet. I came from a different beast. I understand what we got to go against every time we get in there. That square box of lunch is serious. So when I talk to him, he know what I'm talking about. Let's see. April the 22nd, Ron.
Leading up to his fight with Lamont Roach Jr., Tank Davis made it clear, he and Calvin Ford were still good. He told fans there was no real tension between them. But once the fight kicked off, a different story unfolded. In the middle of the action, Davis was heard shouting at Ford in the corner, which made people wonder if things really were settled between them. It's moments like these that reveal when things aren't as smooth behind the scenes as they appear in public. When a fighter and trainer aren't fully on the same page, it can spill over into the ring, and that outburst raised a lot of eyebrows. Now the conversation has shifted. How much did that tension impact Davis's performance? A boxer's relationship with his trainer is critical, not just for strategy, but for mental sharpness and confidence. Any strain can throw off the whole game plan. With this unexpected crack showing during the fight, fans are watching closely to see how Davis and Ford move forward and whether they can rebuild the trust that's helped carry Davis this far.
I ain't even gonna ask you that question on camera.
What?
I'm talking about family at this point. Cause you pulled up with just somebody else. You didn't even pull up with your team you pull up with. We ain't see Calvin. Yeah.
Calvin was there.
Okay.
Calvin was there.
Okay.
I think he came a little late though. I spoke to him.
Y'all good.
Yeah.
All right, because
I just seen Calvin too. But that's another thing. Calvin is someone that he's like, when I ain't had no pops, Calvin was the person that you feel me, stepped in them shoes. So no matter if he's not my coach, anything like that, he's always gonna be in my life.
And that's why I said I would have asked that question off camera because I already know.
Yeah,
so I ain't, but you already cleared it.
Tank Davis and Calvin Ford's relationship has always been deeper than just fighter and coach. Ford has been by Davis's side since he was just 7 years old, guiding him not only through the boxing world but also through the struggles of growing up on the tough streets of Baltimore. Over the years, Ford has become like a father figure to Davis, not just someone calling the shots in the corner. But lately, cracks have started to show. Heading into the fight with Lamont Roach Jr., Davis tried to quiet the rumors, telling fans any issues between him and Ford were in the past. But when fight night came, tensions boiled over. Cameras caught Davis shouting at Ford in the corner, and that one moment sent shockwaves through the boxing community. People started wondering if there were still problems that hadn't been resolved. It's a reminder that when personal bonds mix with professional responsibilities, things can get complicated. And when those personal issues creep into the ring, it can throw everything off balance. What once seemed like an unbreakable partnership is now under a microscope, as fans question whether these tensions could end up hurting Davis inside the ring.
Let me explain something to you. Tank don't look at me as coach, you look at me as dad. Do it look like his son supposed to be taking care of dad? I don't even feel right. Y'all hear this time? Tank don't pay his coach. Tank gives me anything I want.
Right.
But I'm a man at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
And I'm a hustler.
Right.
Second and foremost, I came from that cloth. You understand? He watched me lose my house, my wife, my family. He watched me do it. It's bigger than boxing.
Right.
Boxing is just a web.
That wraps up today's video. Make sure you stay locked in for all the latest boxing updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.